Hey, Battle Built. It with another video, getting into some more Go Battle League battles for some Season 8. And today we got another Shoutcast submission in the level 50 Master League. So the technically unlimited CP, not really. Level 50 is still technically a cap. And we have some more spice. So the question is, our feature for today, Gyarados with Waterfall, Octel, and Crunch, will it have play in level 50 Masters? And depending on the matchups it might do well in level 50 Masters, will it do well in regular Masters? Maybe it's a sleeper pick that we don't know about. So we got this, the submission from Maverick19879. Greatly appreciated from a fellow PvPer of the community. If you're excited to see these battles, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And let's jump into the battles now. Let's see, we got like a set of 10, so let's see how much play these Pokemon have. We got Metagross, Gyarados, and Garchomp on this team comp, and we're going up against what looks like a level 50 Mewtwo. Shout out to this opponent, and for all of y'all at home that don't know, Mewtwo is coming to raids July 16th, so it means you can grind those raids and have your own level 50 Mewtwo. I feel like I said Shadow Mewtwo. Did I say Shadow Mewtwo? I didn't say regular Mewtwo. Regardless, level 50 Mewtwo in Open Masters. Quite the sight to see. And we got the level 50 Metagross up against it in this matchup. They both committed shields. They called a Focus Blast, which would have been huge, I'm sure. With Mewtwo's attack stat, it would have taken out the Metagross's remaining health. And then they swap into Kyogre. They're going for the neutral Earthquake because Meteor Mash would have been resisted. And then they swap into their own Gyarados. Wait a minute, this Gyarados has Dragon Breath? Oh my god, I messed it up. We're gonna fix it mid-video. It's okay. This Gyarados has Dragon Breath. I guess when I looked at it quickly, it was going up against a Kyogre that had Waterfall, so I mixed up the Waterfalls from the Kyogre with the potential Dragon Breaths from the Gyarados. So that just happened. Either way, the Dragon Breath kind of slaughtered, did really well against the Kyogre there, and then the Mewtwo came in and the opponent decided to quit. You got a nice top left out of, and this says Dragon Breathe. I'm doing great with my spelling right now. We're going to keep on rolling through this though, so give me one moment as I fix my spelling. And you should just continue watching the battles instead of watching me continue to mess this up. Either way, we got a slow matchup between Metagross and Melmetal there. The opponent safe swaps into Swampert, and he matches with the Gyarados. This reminds me of Master Premier. Bring it back, Niantic, please. I would love some more Master Premier action. I missed this matchup. I used to run Gyarados a lot. It does very well against Swampert, and they're going straight Hydro Cannon here. I'm sure with level 50s in play, Gyarados is still going to do well against Swampert in this matchup. They're spamming Hydro Cannons. Technically, the Swampert wants to land a Sludge Wave in this situation, but I guess based on the fact that they're just spamming Hydro Cannons against the Gyarados, they are not running Sludge Wave, and they're probably just running Hydro Cannon. So he calls a shield to make sure he doesn't get taken out by the Hydro Cannon. And it's interesting, the Gyarados actually had the shield there, and the Swampert didn't, but he did leave this matchup with a bunch of energy. The Steel type comes back in, should be the Melmetal trying to go for the farm down. Thunder Shock being double super effective, should be able to farm down Gyarados relatively easily. Does some chip damage, swaps into the Garchomp. Garchomp is running Dragon Tail. We have the correct fast move on the Garchomp there. They throw a Rock Slide and dip. I'm pretty confident the play is to throw a Superpower and dip, but the Rock Slide was resisted. They get a shield from the Mewtwo with the Sand Tomb. The Mewtwo's getting to a charge move, should be Side Strike. Side Strike is hurting. Dragon Tails are adding up a bit. I don't think they're going to add up enough, but the Mewtwo does not get to the Side Strike in time. I don't think they can commit to a Psycho Cut down. They might. They might be. They were, wow, that huge commitment, but it's going to be a misplay. They're going to have all this energy. They got to be at 2 Side Strikes. They swap to catch. Wow, they got the Bullet Punch through, swapped and caught a whole Focus Blast on the Gyarados. What in the world was that play? Why did they throw a Focus Blast? But I guess because Side Strike wasn't going to take out the Metagross's remaining health. That was actually ridiculous. What a play to clutch that dub. That's what they get for being running Mewtwo in level 50 league. Anyhow, on to the next match. Metagross on the Yveltal. Terrible lead because Yveltal's a Dark type and Metagross being that Psychic Steel. They safe swap into their Dragon Breath Gyarados. They get met by a Melmetal again. Melmetal and Yveltal are reasonable Pokemon to have in level 50 Masters because of the pure fact that Melmetal, you can get a Meltan box from Pokemon Home for free very consistently and very often, and you literally get 3 XLs per Meltan that you catch. And then also Yveltal was in raids recently, so that would explain why they had the level 50 there. Now, they ended up losing swap. Gyarados, or not losing swap, they didn't have swap, but Gyarados does not want to see a Melmetal in Masters, so that's definitely going to be one of Gyarados' biggest weaknesses, and this is a misplay from the opponent, swapping the Melmetal out. I guess they were worried about getting farmed down, but now the Yveltal's not going to be lined up with the Metagross. They can call a Dark Pulse here. The Dragon Tails from the Garchomp are going to be chunking away at the Yveltal, and then the Sand Tunes are going to lower the defense. Even though it's double resisted, now these Dragon Tails do even more damage. They're going to get to another Sand Tune in time. Could potentially get a shield. It shouldn't take out. It does not take out. Opponent gets to another Dark Pulse. They're deciding to let it come through. They're going to come in with the Metagross. No! Ooh! Interesting situation to be in here. What a quick swap to let the Garchomp go down while kind of keeping their Yveltal alive. This is not looking promising for the Metagross, just based on the fact that they're going to have to shield this Dragon Claw, and the Dragon Breaths are just doing too much damage, but they are at 2. They are at 2 Meteor Mashes. One will take out. The other one should get a shield, but let's see what they decide to do. Oh, the Melmetal just has too much health. Even though they're going to get to this Meteor Mash here, it's not going to be able to do anything because of the pure fact that the Melmetal had a shield, throws a superpower, takes out the Metagross to end this game. Poor alignment, bound to happen no matter what team comp you're running in any league. Also, shout out to the chat viewer that mentioned Shiny Meltan is also coming tomorrow. By the time you see this video, Shiny Meltan should be where you are. I'm going to be releasing this at 7 p.m. on 7 p.m. Eastern, July 6th. So I'm pretty sure that the event starts on July 6th and should be Shiny Meltan should be out. So I highly recommend getting on Pokemon Home. It's free. Get the app, get on your Shiny Meltan grinds, get the Meltan boxes, and make sure you get all those XLs to build your Meltans and potentially get a Shundo that you could potentially build. Anyhow, back to the commentating. We got a Metagross on another Mewtwo lead. Do they want to commit here? They decide to commit. They shield the Side Strike. The opponent swaps to Yveltal, trying to be quick with it, but Maverick counters real quick with their Dragon Tail Garchomp, and the opponent decides to throw the Dark Pulse there, and the Garchomp's going for the Outrage, which is definitely going to be the play here because there's no shields in this situation. Outrage takes out the Yveltal's remaining health, and the Melmetal, opposing Melmetal, another one, I'm sure this is all over the place in level 50 league because how easy it is to get. The opposing Melmetal comes back in, or comes in for the first time. They're going to throw a charge move here. Garchomp, even though it's running Dragon Tail, doesn't do too terrible here, just because of the fact that Dragon Tail hits hard, Sand Tomb is super effective, and Sand Tomb debuffs the defense, so the Dragon Breaths could do even more. But the unfortunate situation here is that the Gyarados has to go up against the Melmetal here, and the Rock Slides are going to be super effective. So they really need to get to this Aqua Tail to take out. Ooh, the opponent pulls off a swap. Great play by Maverick here, waiting for that swap, expecting the swap, getting off the Aqua Tail on the Mewtwo, getting to another Aqua Tail for the Melmetal before the Melmetal is able to get to a charge move, and it does not take out, but they swap in the Metagross to go for the Bullet Punch down, but instead, the Melmetal throws a superpower, and Gyarados comes in and is able to become a counter for a Melmetal. Confirm. Some really great plays in the end game there by Maverick. Very high level. All right, getting to this next match, we have Metagross on a Garchomp. From what I remember, this is not a great lead for the Metagross, but Metagross could play it well in the 0s and 1s because of Meteor Mash. But then again, that might change now because of Earth Power if Garchomps are running Earth Power. Because again, just like Maverick is doing, he's running Dragon Tail, Sand Tomb, and Outrage, which would definitely be pretty positive for the Metagross. Christ. Man, I need to shoutcast more often. My game is off here. I'm definitely making some missed calls and doing more stuttering than I used to do, but it is what it is. Togekiss comes in. He gets a shield from the Togekiss with the Aqua Tail. Quick swaps into his Metagross. Shields of Flamethrower is going to come through because of the fact that the Togekiss was going to farm down the Gyarados all the way. The opponent comes in with the Garchomp. And again, like I said, this is a good play unless this Garchomp has Earth Power, which it does. Takes out the Metagross's remaining health. The opponent then gets to another charge move. This is looking like an Outrage. Oh, they're carrying Outrage and Earth Power, and that was a great 1-2 combo for Maverick's team comp, just based on the fact they're running both Metagross, keep on calling it Meteor Mash, Metagross and Garchomp, and they really just lost to the opponent's solid moveset on their Garchomp with Earth Power and Outrage. All right, let's get into the next match. We have Metagross on another Metagross lead here. This is the play of the baits. The opponent does not want to make that play. They save swap into their Snorlax. And Maverick comes in with his Garchomp. Dragon Tail's chunking away already. Charge move coming through. Our Snorlax is running Outrage and level 50 Masters. I remember for the Spice content, and honestly, it worked well with my really good Master Premier team, that I would run Outrage and Body Slam with my Snorlax just so I had some coverage against Dragonites, because I would always run into the Dragonite on Snorlax matchup when I brought in my Snorlaxes. It was always good to have, and I would clutch land and Outrage here and there to flip switch in those types of matches. Well, Dragon Tail with the Sandtomb combo does well against the Snorlax there, and then the Metagross comes back in, and he decides to come in with his Gyarados because he's worried about the, ooh, what a swap. He was worried about the Metagross being ahead in energy, but then they swap in a Togekiss against the Gyarados, and this Metagross can go for almost a full farm down. He unfortunately decides to throw a charge move because I guess he didn't want to take any more charm damage, but the charge move doesn't get registered, so now he's got 100 energy going up against the opposing Metagross, and there 2 shields, tries to get off both of his Meteor Mashes in time, unfortunately not able to, decides to let his Metagross go down, comes back in with the Gyarados. The question is, I know Waterfall Gyarados does well here because of that neutral damage, but Dragon Breath Gyarados will do as well. The opponent lets the Crunch go through. That's going to be huge. Charge move coming through. No way it's Psychic, right? Nobody's running Psychic in level 50 Masters. That was also something we used to see in Master Premier. And Gyarados able to tank the Meteor Mash. What a play. Crunch lands. Dragon Breath's down. Gyarados gets the dub there. Getting into the next match, we have a Metagross on a Swampert lead. This is definitely a poor lead, no matter what the league is. Level 50, level 40 Masters. Not a great situation. He safe swaps his Dragon Tail Garchomp, and they stayed in for a second with the Swampert to throw a Hydro Cannon, which he let go through, and then goes for the Sandtomb against the Dragonite. Both of these dragons running Dragon Tail. Because of the Sandtomb, he gets the shield and was able to debuff its defense, so the Dragon Tail's added up and almost got the Dragon, well, got the Dragonite really low, almost took it out. Charge move comes through, Dragonite goes for a Draco Meteor, Bullet punches all the way down, has a shield advantage now. Swampert comes in, they're going to want to go for the Earthquake, doing neutral damage. Swampert gets to a charge move, should be a Hydro Cannon, can get off the Earthquake, probably going to swap into Gyarados here because definitely does not want to stay in this matchup. The Swampert lets the Earthquake go through, that's a huge play. Oh, they decide to shield again because the Earthquake was able to go through. Honestly, it was a good shield. Throws the Meteor Mash a little early. Does the opponent recognize that? The opponent does not recognize that. Really good play. Honestly, what he should have done after that was stayed in a little bit longer because the Thunder Shocks were not going to be able to farm down the Metagross, and should have tried to catch what would have been a Rock Slide anyway. There's no way they would have thrown the neutral superpower just because of the fact that Metagross's health was so low. So actually, that was probably a good play on his part. But this isn't looking too promising just because Melmetal's probably able to rack up a bunch of energy, get to another charge move. This should be the neutral superpower to take out the Metagross. And unfortunately, with Melmetal's everywhere, Gyarados definitely struggles in that specific matchup. But if you can keep the Gyarados away from all the Melmetals, it has done very well. That and some Togekisses. But you got Metagross for the Togekisses, and then the combination of Metagross and Garchomp for all the Melmetals. So the team comp still does pull off some dubs, running into another version of level 50 Mewtwo. I just noticed this Mewtwo's CP is even higher than the other ones, so it looks like the other Mewtwo's weren't level 50, but still a lot higher level than you probably expect, considering to get 1XL you gotta walk 20 kilometers walk. But anyhow, let's continue doing the shoutcast here. We have Gyarados on Mewtwo, both in the one shield situation, able to Aqua Tail it, Dragon Breath down. The Mamoswine comes back in. It can do neutral damage with the Powder Stones and the Avalanches, but Gyarados can do super effective damage with the Aqua Tails, and even in level 50 league, Mamoswine is pretty glassy, so Aqua Tail hit hard. They're letting the Avalanche come through. The Avalanche does not take out the Gyarados. I'm actually quite surprised, and the Gyarados is able to get to another Aqua Tail. This should either get the shield or take it out. Takes it out, and they have a Garchomp on Garchomp matchup. So this isn't a bad situation, but does not want to get baited and does not want an Outrage to land here. Calls the Outrage. The opponent's probably running Earth Power Outrage like the other opponent. So he's definitely using a unique moveset on his Garchomp, and this unique moveset is definitely paying dividends based on the fact that he was able to Dragon Tail it almost completely down before they got to another Outrage to take out his Garchomp. And the Metagross should have enough health to Bullet Punch down in time, was able to pull it off to get the dub. Really well played there, and Gyarados doing well in that Mamoswine matchup and also against Mewtwo. So into the next match, Metagross on Kyogre. Level 50 Kyogre. That one's a little sus too. Anyhow, Is that level 50? Is that the CP? Actually, it looks like maybe level 40. Wait a minute. What's the... No, meta... What does Kyogre max out at? I forget. I'm going to check really quickly. Kyogre maxes out at 4097. So it's not level 50, but it definitely had some XLs in it. Maybe they're constantly walking their Kyogre to get a few XLs, and they brought it in here. That was probably like level 43, 44-ish. A little bit more reasonable. If we would have saw it a lot higher, then I would have been like, suspect. Anyhow, getting into the next match. Togekiss is lined up with the Gyarados. I guess he safe swapped Gyarados after losing lead, because Metagross on Kyogre is never a great situation. Even though maybe with the Metagross being at level 50 probably helps, considering the Kyogre wasn't exactly at level 50. And then they come in with their next Pokemon. What was this? Oh, it said 3,700 CP. I saw water type. I was confused as to if he had another water Pokemon. So that was still his Kyogre. Comes, throws the Sand Tomb, going for the Dragon Tail down the Garchomp. Gonna shield this charge move, gonna commit to it. Ooh, they're both running Sand Tomb. That's the bait. But the they're both running Dragon Tail, and their Kyogre was down. Oh man, I missed that. Sorry, I was getting too sidetracked with the Kyogre CP. I thought it was level 50, but then I remembered, and somebody in chat's also pointing out to me level 40 only maxed out at 4100. So it was definitely a slightly XL'd one, which is a lot more reasonable to have. Okay, getting into the next match, we have a positive lead with Metagross on Mamo, and then they safe swap their own Kyogre, and he decides, Kyogre, their own Gyarados, and still stuck on the topic of Kyogre, and they throw the Crunch. It's quite the swap just because of the fact that the Gyarados is throwing super effective Dragon Breaths, but these Dragon Tails are adding up even though they're only doing neutral damage, and he was able to get a Sand Tomb to debuff. So it looks like Garchomp actually does pretty well in this matchup. I'm quite surprised. Charge move is going to come through. He is going to have to shield this. He ended up shielding both though, so maybe not the most amazing matchup just based on the fact that the Gyarados didn't have to shield anything. Mamoswine comes back in, double super effective Powder Snows, gonna take out the Garchomp. Not the best situation now for Metagross on Mamoswine, because the Mamoswine has the shield advantage and has access to Bulldoze, which does not take out but still hits for super effective. They swap into a Swampert, and again, Gyarados on Swampert, relatively positive matchup, but they have the shield advantage. They're spamming Hydro Cannons. It's looking like Earthquake is just definitely not the play in level 50 Masters because of the fact that Gyarados has no shields. They should be trying to throw Sludge Waves here, but they're just spamming Hydro Cannons, and the Hydro Cannons are adding up, so can't blame the trainer for wanting to have Earthquake in this situation. Going for another Aqua Tail, gonna do some chip damage, potentially get another shield. Does not get the other shield. The opponent then goes for another Hydro Cannon. They might be able to clutch this, honestly. This is looking close. Commit to a Dragon Breath down. Instead, no, they swap into the Mamoswine, and the Mamoswine only has one shield here because they shielded an Aqua Tail, and it takes a while. Ooh, takes a while. Well, they don't need another Bulldoze, but it takes a while to get to another charge move after throwing a Bulldoze because Bulldoze is so expensive. Committing to the Dragon Breath down on the Mamoswine. What a play! The opponent should have let the Swampert come in instead of quitting. That was such a 5-head play to pull off the dub. You see some really nice positive sets here from Maverick. Hitting 2600-ish elo with Gyarados in Open Masters at level 50. Honestly, a really crazy play there. Letting the Metagross go down in the way that they did, and then committing to the farm down, because that was their only play. They don't get to throw another charge with the Swampert, and the Swampert would have outpaced them to a Hydro Cannon. So shout out to Maverick for the submission. Definitely enjoyed watching the battles in level 50 Masters with Metagross, Gyarados, Garchomp. I honestly didn't think I was going to get much content on this because I don't know how many people are actually doing this. But there are some Pokemon that you can reasonably level 50. There were some suspect ones that, again, we saw as we were watching these battles, but not all those Mewtwo's and Legendaries were necessarily level 50. I just didn't have a complete grasp on where their CP level should be at level 50 because, I don't exactly have a level 50 Mewtwo to have a reference. But regardless, Maverick, thank you so much for the submission. Let me know what you thought of the battles at level 50 Masters, and let me know if you think Gyarados might have some sleeper play, some sneaky play in level 40 Masters, considering we only have open Masters these days, and we don't have Master Premier. We should also try and yell at Niantic, bring Master Premier back. There's no reason why we can't have 3 Master Leagues at the same time, but I guess that's on them. I definitely miss Master Premier. That was one of my favorite leagues way back when. Anyhow, on that note, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.